They're considered the lucky ones, people whose homes survived the fires but are surrounded by a lot of loss.
And as I found out, these homeowners worry that their homes may never be safe to live in again. We know that some very dangerous materials burned in these fires, things like lithium batteries, asbestos, lead. And the residents I spoke with, they don't have a lot of confidence that their insurers will pay to properly clean and decontaminate their homes.
You don't really notice it, but then when you wipe it, you know, that's what you're dealing with.
Throughout Phil Lindholm's Altadena home, ash and soot are everywhere.
This is, really bad.
Remnants of the Eaton Fire that tore through his neighborhood and burned several homes on his street.
Our house, if you go inside, it smells like a campfire in there.
Oh my goodness. The smoke smell is really, really strong.
Kirsten Davis lives right next door to a home that burned.
But look at the these couches.
Her house is also covered in ash.
What is that like to have survived the fire but now not know if it's safe to live in your home?
I think especially as a parent, it's really concerning. We'd love to be in our home, but it's not worth, getting cancer.
The Lindholm and Davis families are still waiting on their insurance to send out an adjuster to tell them how and when their homes will be cleaned.
They don't do environmental or toxicity testing. They don't cover the air, they said. So if the neighborhood air quality is bad, that doesn't matter. As long as my structure is cleaned up, that's all they'll do.
And it's the long-term health risks that have parents like Colin Fisher worried if they can ever move back. He and his wife lived here with their 1-year-old son, his toys and crib now covered in ash.
I have no idea if it's toxic, if it's lead. I have a 16-month-old, so I don't want to expose him to lead. Like if your house burned down, they say they're going to take the foundation away, the dirt away, the ash away. But if your house didn't burn down, like my backyard is 10 feet away from soil that's getting removed, so I don't know what to do.
The smell is so strong inside that you can't be in there for more than 5 minutes.
Have you received any money from your insurance company?
Zero.
Most of the people we spoke with whose homes survived the Eaton Fire haven't received any claim advancement from their insurance companies. California law only requires those upfront payments for those whose homes are a total loss.
There are a lot of gray areas, unfortunately, around remediating, fixing smoke damage and restoring a home in a wildfire area that's still standing to a safe and habitable condition.
Amy Bach is with the consumer advocacy group United Policyholders.
I've heard this said many times. People will say it would have been easy. It feels like it would have been better if my home had been completely destroyed because I'm lost in this dispute with my insurance company.
Jason Canado lives in his childhood home with his wife and elderly mother.
The pool, it's just jet black.
The fire burned the house behind him and next door.
We're not going to get back into our house for at least a year. And even if we do, we're going to have to move out when they start demolishing it.
Bach suggests that homeowners who are concerned about the safety of their homes consider hiring their own indoor air quality expert to guide them.
We hear so many stories about insurance company adjusters who don't have the requisite training, licensure, or experience telling people that their homes are safe to move back into when the homeowners don't really think that's true, and that adjuster has absolutely no qualifications to make that serious a judgment call.
And while they are the lucky ones, survivors of the fire feel like their luck has run out, and they'll be left for years to pick up the pieces.
We love our house. We don't want it to burn down. But at this point, it would have been probably better if it had burned.
United Policyholders cautions homeowners and renters to make sure that it's a licensed and trained professional assessing the cleanup of their home. But if it is an insurance adjuster who they feel is not qualified to do so, fire victims can insist on testing and get a second opinion. And they felt guilty saying that to me, like I almost wish my home burned, because they feel like that's callous towards those who did. But at the same time, they can't go in their homes. They don't know if they're safe. And the insurance coverage is kind of a gray area. They also brought up that some of them they don't have clothes, they don't have supplies, they've left all that there because they're afraid that it's not, safe to wear or use.
There's toxins in it.
But when they contact a lot of these organizations helping fire victims, they ask if their home's burned down, and if they say no, then a lot of times they don't qualify for them, or they feel weird about starting a GoFundMe because their home didn't burn, and their friends say, "Oh, you're lucky, your home's there."
Yeah, it's such a complicated situation. I mean, you hear the one woman say, "I don't want to get cancer from it." We
Right.
don't know what is in a lot of the ash, and you see that pool that is going to take forever to clean out.
And these homes built in like the 1900 or 1920 and before, so they have
There's
asbestos,
asbestos,
lead, and especially as a parent, you think to yourself, I want to keep a roof over my child's head, but I want my child to be safe too.
Yeah.
And do I have the money to do both?
Well, I hope they can figure this out, because
Yeah.
it's going to be a situation for many, many people for
A long
quite some
process
time.
too.